Writing. Boss scoffed at the janitor's son, until he fixed the machine no one else could. Scroll disclaimer. This story is a work of fiction created for entertainment and inspirational purposes. Any resemblance to real persons, living or dead, or real events is purely coincidental. The factory floor of Riverside Manufacturing roared with noise every morning. Massive machines stamped metal, conveyor belts rattled, and sparks occasionally flew from welding stations. Workers moved quickly, trying to keep up with the relentless rhythm of production. In the middle of all this chaos worked Mr. Daniels, the janitor. For 15 years, he had quietly cleaned the floors, emptied trash bins, and wiped grease from railings long after everyone else had gone home. Most workers barely noticed him. Some greeted him politely, others ignored him completely. But every afternoon, around 4 p.m., a thin teenage boy would appear at the factory entrance. His name was Leo, Mr. Daniel's son. Leo would sit on a bench near the maintenance area with a worn notebook in his lap. While waiting for his father to finish work, he watched the machines carefully, studying the belts, gears, and control panels like someone trying to solve a giant puzzle. To most employees, he was just the janitor's kid. The breakdown. One Tuesday morning, disaster struck. The factory's main automated press machine, the heart of the entire production line, suddenly shut down with a violent screech. The entire assembly line froze. Red warning lights flashed. Within minutes, the floor manager called the head engineer. Technicians gathered around the machine, opening panels and checking circuits. Hours passed. Nothing worked. Production stopped completely, costing the company thousands of dollars every minute. Standing nearby was Mr. Carter, the factory's strict operations manager. He paced back and forth impatiently. "Why is this still not fixed?" he snapped. One of the engineers wiped sweat from his forehead. "We've checked the motor, sensors, and control system," he said. "Something deeper is wrong." Mr. Carter groaned. "Call the external specialists." But the specialists wouldn't arrive until the next morning. The entire factory would remain shut down overnight. The quiet observer. Late that evening, most employees had left. Mr. Daniels was mopping the floor near the broken machine while Leo waited nearby. Leo kept staring at the open control panel. After a few minutes, he stood up. "Dad," he whispered, "can I take a closer look?" Mr. Daniels hesitated. "Son, we shouldn't touch anything here." But Leo was curious. He stepped closer, studying the wiring and mechanical linkages. He noticed something the engineers had overlooked. A tiny alignment rod connected two sensor arms that controlled the machine's safety mechanism. The rod was bent, just slightly, barely noticeable, but enough to stop the entire system. Leo looked around. No one was paying attention. Carefully, he grabbed a small wrench from the maintenance cart and gently adjusted the rod back into position. Then he reset the sensor. A moment later, click, the machine powered up, lights turned green, motors hummed, the conveyor belt started moving again. Leo quickly stepped back. The discovery. Just then, Mr. Carter walked back onto the floor with two engineers. They stopped dead in their tracks. "The machine, it's running," one engineer said in disbelief. They rushed to the control panel. Everything was working perfectly. Mr. Carter frowned. "Who fixed it?" No one answered. Finally, a maintenance worker pointed toward Leo. I think the kid touched something." Mr. Carter looked at Leo skeptically. "You," he said with a scoff. "You expect me to believe the janitor's son fixed a machine our engineers couldn't?" Leo looked nervous. "I just noticed the alignment rod was bent," he said quietly. "The safety sensor couldn't reset." The engineers checked the mechanism. Their eyes widened. He was right. The rod had been realigned. One engineer shook his head in amazement. "That was the problem," he admitted. Silence filled the factory floor. Mr. Carter stared at Leo. For the first time, the arrogant manager had nothing to say. The truth about talent. The next morning, the story spread across the entire factory. Workers whispered about the boy who fixed the machine. Engineers reviewed the system and confirmed Leo's diagnosis. Later that day, Mr. Carter called Leo and his father into his office. Mr. Daniels looked worried. "Sir, if Leo did something wrong, I apologize." But Mr. Carter interrupted him. "Actually," he said slowly, "your son saved the company thousands of dollars." He turned to Leo. "How did you know what to do?" Leo shrugged. "I like machines," he said. "I read engineering books at the library." Mr. Carter leaned back in his chair. Then something unexpected happened. He smiled. "Well," He said, maybe you shouldn't just be watching machines anymore. He slid a piece of paper across the desk. It was an application for the company's engineering scholarship program. If you're willing to work hard, Mr. Carter said, we'd like to help you study engineering. Mr. Daniel's eyes filled with tears. Leo stared at the paper in shock. The lesson. From that day forward, people in the factory looked at Leo differently. Not as the janitor's son, but as a future engineer. Did you like this feature? 1500 WAD.